Sankt Thomas Plads is a small plaza located in Fredericksburg just before it meets with Vesterbro on Fredericksburg, LA. The plaza consists of two identical semicircle pedestrian areas separated by a busy road that runs down the middle. I pass this plaza often, and I am always very intrigued by how deserted it is, while the surrounding neighborhoods have lively and lingering street life. Sankt Thomas Plads was constructed in 1700 when Fredericksburg, LA was used as a driveway to the Fredericksburg Palace Gardens. The plaza was refurbished in 1932 as a part of the 75th anniversary of the Fredericksburg municipality and remained relatively unchanged since. The two statues on either side of the plaza were installed to commemorate the history of Fredericksburg, one of which depicts a falconer to celebrate the Royal Falconry Farm, which ran until 1810. The two pedestrian areas of the plaza are very uniform. Each have 4 large benches, trees lining the walkways, a small street for car parking on the outer edge, 8 streetlights on each side, and an impressive fountain as the focal point. The plaza is intersected by a wide, heavily trafficked road. The cobbles used on the plaza are continued onto the road in an attempt to try to make the space more inviting and cohesive and to get the cars to slow down as they pass through. However, it has the opposite effect. As I observed, the cars actually increase their speed as they glide over the cobbles. This contributes to the reason why people rarely stop and sit on the plaza. Because the cars are moving so fast, it gives the area an unpleasant sense of urgency. In addition, there are no marked bike lanes on this portion of the road. This, combined with the cobbles, makes the road much less appealing to cyclists. In addition, it also creates a general sense of anonymity in the plaza. Sitting on one of the benches, you can't see the faces of people driving by in cars or on bicycles, decreasing the amount of face-to-face interaction. Another reason why this area is used mostly by passerbys is because each side is more or less a small island. Sitting on one of the benches, I felt rather uneasy, especially at night. Though the benches were comfortable and the lighting above was adequate, my back was to the dark street of parked cars behind me, and the noise of the traffic was in front of me. Therefore, it would be hard to hear someone coming up from behind. During each of my data collections for this plaza, I observed pretty much the same behaviors regardless of the time and weather conditions. On my first visit, on Friday, September 21st at 6:10 p.m., over a span of 15 minutes, I observed that many pedestrians passing through stayed along the curb of the road, not really entering the plaza, just continuing their straight path down the street. I also observed that many people used the small parking road as a walkway or bike path, most likely to avoid the cobbles. Only a total of 6 pedestrians crossed the plaza, and the only people who were actually using the space were a young woman pushing a stroller back and forth, and a group of men congregating around one of the benches talking amongst themselves. When I returned to the plaza on Sunday, September 23rd at 9 p.m., there was no one using the plaza except as a walkway. And again on Monday, September 24th, the only people using the space was another young mother pushing her child in a stroller and a man taking down a sign. From an urban planning perspective, I believe that this space has the potential to be an attractive public area. First, if the surrounding buildings opened shops and restaurants on the ground floor, more life would be invited into the space. Or, if this is not possible, parking food trucks around the circle would also be a fun option. In addition, breaking up the pattern of the cobbles from the street to the plaza would give the road a more defined space so the plaza would be safer for children. Finally, adding some green space either between the trees or around the fountains would make the space feel much more inviting. Currently, Sankt Thomas Plads is a public space that lacks public life. However, through my observations, it is clear that there is potential for it to become a place to stay rather than just pass by.